Good morning, happy Friday Focus. It is the 22nd of April today. I hope you've had a fabulous week, fabulous Easter. I was away for a few days at Easter, which was lovely. The weather, oh thank goodness, wasn't the weather wonderful? So I hope you are all well rested and ready to go back to work next week after the school holidays and everything. And today we're going to be talking about how to grow your business and shrink your debts at the same time. So I was reading an article in the Telegraph not very long ago, and I found out that apparently 60% of new businesses fail within the first 3 years. Now, this has increased hugely over the last few years. I thought it was only 40%, but apparently it's now 60%. And one of the biggest reasons for this is debt. Not only can too much debt land your business in hot water financially, it also prevents many businesses from actually expanding and taking the next steps. However, growing your business and reducing your debts does not have to be an either-or situation. By creating a long-term plan and putting the time that you spend paying off that debt to good use, it's really possible to grow your business and shrink your debt at the same time. And I've got some really good ideas on how you can do this. If you're watching this live, please do comment. It'd be lovely to see that you're here. If you're watching it on replay, please let me know. So the first one is actually building credit. How often do you look at your Experian or Credit Karma or any of the other ones, credit score? It is immensely valuable to your business. So we might all look at our personal ones, but do you ever look at your business one? I looked at my business one not very long ago, and I was quite surprised it wasn't as high as I expected. And the reason for this is because I don't have any debts and I don't have any credit apart from my electric car. And I thought, oh, this is a bit peculiar. Why isn't my electric car showing up here? So I contacted Experian and I found out that it hadn't been registered as being a business expense. So they have now registered it and my credit score has gone up. So if I wanted to, I could borrow much more money. But it's really, really important to keep an eye on this. And actually, to be quite honest with you, I had no idea that I could look at my credit score for my business. So if you have debts, you need to make sure that they are paid off as soon as you possibly can. Now, there's a book by Dave Ramsey all about the debt snowball. And this turns debt on its head completely. So normally, when we've got any number of credit cards, and this doesn't just apply to business, this applies to personal as well. If we've got, say, 2 or 3 credit cards and we've got debts on those, and we're just paying those off monthly, no more, no less than we need to in order to not incur any extra interest, then that's absolutely great. But if we look at the debt snowball, what it usually, when we're paying debts off normally, we pay off the one with the highest interest rate because that's what we've all been taught to do. With the debt snowball, it's completely the opposite. We pay off the smallest debt. Doesn't matter what the interest rate is, we pay off the smallest debt. And this is because it's a behavioral thing. So if we can pay off the smallest debt, the feeling that we have that debt is done, finished, over and done with is so immense that it will make us really, really want to pay off the next ones as quickly as possible. Now, the other thing that you can obviously do is transfer those balances. There are innumerable, if that's a word, amounts of credit card companies that will transfer your debts at 0%. And the one I saw, I can't remember who it was now, brain's gone dead, sorry, a couple of weeks ago, no, last week actually it was, actually said that they were going to do 0% transfers for 24 months, but they were also going to do 0% on new purchases for the next 12 months. Now, with the cost of living rising as much as it is, this could be really, really useful to do. So have a look and see if you can transfer that credit card debt for your business over to a 0% transfer, because it will save you a lot of money. Proving that you are a reliable borrower makes your business much more appealing in the eyes of potential future lenders, which is bound to come in handy if it's time to secure a loan for further investments. Looking at the bigger picture, It always pays to see the bigger picture in any business. Looking at today's costs and profits is not enough to ensure effective financial management. You really need to consider how costs may change down the line and carefully estimate the returns that you're likely to see on your current investments. Of course, it always pays to be conservative when calculating your profit margins in order to prevent any overspending. Long-term projections allow you to manage your debt effectively and carefully rebalance the repayments and in the investments and other expenses. So the third way is prioritizing your debts. As I said before, using the debt snowball is a really, really good way of doing this behaviorally. Not necessarily financially, but behaviorally. But it will also make you pay off those debts much quicker. Now, if you're using profit first, what I would suggest you do if you've got business debts, and it doesn't matter what those debts are. If they are business debts, they're business debts. What I would suggest that you do is you're putting all of your predetermined percentages into your profit pot, but instead of taking 50% out at distribution time, what you do is you take out 99% at distribution time. So you're still leaving 1% in there, but the 99% you're taking out and you're paying towards that debt immediately. It's a really, really good way of paying it off. And again, using profit first, because you're not really noticing that the amount's being put into profit first, it makes a huge difference to making sure that those debts are paid off. Number 4 is automated payments. As a really busy business owner, it's so easy for payment deadlines to slip your mind. Setting up automated repayments is a really easy and convenient way to avoid this. Some lenders even offer discounts as an incentive to set up this service. So automated payments could save you a significant amount of money over any time, not to mention stress. Number 5 is debt consolidation. Debt consolidation is the process of combining multiple loans into one. It means you take out a new loan to pay off all of your existing debt so that you can then focus on that single account. So again, if you can go for one of those 0% transfers, say you've got 3 credit cards, you transfer all of those over onto the new credit card at 0%, and then you start paying that off. But what you also need to try and do is to freeze that debt so that that debt does not increase. But what you really don't want to do is start paying these huge amounts of interest that you have to pay on credit cards. But make sure that you keep a really close eye on what your debts actually are. Creating a cash flow projection is number 6. Failing to prepare for dry spells, which we all have, is a surefire way to accumulate debt and to enter a cycle of feast and famine. Now, as small business owners, we all go through feast and famine. But if we haven't done our cash flow projections and we don't know where that feast and famine is coming, then we can't prepare for it. It's really important to create cash flow projections so that you can manage your expenditure and create a cash reserve accordingly to tie you over when the times are tough. Again, profit first will help you do this. When the money goes into your profit account, not talking about your tax account or your owner's pay account, but your profit account, when you take out 50% for yourself as your reward at the end of each quarter, you've still got 50% in there. That is your buffer. If you can make sure that you've got enough in that buffer for 2 to 3 months of your expenditure, then that's going to cause you an awful lot less stress. It's very, very important. But understanding and managing your cash flow effective is essential to stay afloat. But it's also, it's not necessarily that easy for a lot of people to do cash flow projections. So what I would suggest you do is, if you've got a cloud accounting system, say you've got Xero, you can have a look at your budget manager and you can set up your budget going forward. It will automatically pull over all of the information from your Xero account as to what all of your expenses have been. But what you've got to do is try and project what your income is going to be so that you know where you're going to be. It can be complicated and it can be time consuming if you do it on a spreadsheet, but doing it on something like Xero, it really makes life a lot easier. And in turn, it allows you to continue growing your business without risking any further debt. And number 7 is cost-effective marketing. Marketing is an essential part of growing any business. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Social media allows you to reach potential new customers without spending a huge amount of money. However, bear in mind that while social media platforms are free to use, creating content does take time and resources, so you may have to have a VA to help you do this. Content marketing is still a really cost-effective way of growing your business, so it's worth redoubling your efforts to ensure the growth of your business without spending a small fortune on advertising. So it pays to repay. Paying off your debt allows your business to grow and thrive. The sooner that your debts are paid off, the stronger your business will be. Debt can cause your business to really stagnate, so it's essential that you manage your finances effectively. Seek the help of a professional if necessary. Being smart about your repayments, you don't have to necessarily choose between reducing your debt and growing your business. You can do both. Making the right decisions today will ensure a real thriving and debt-free business for tomorrow. But you need to get these things into place. Don't bury your head in the sand, which is what I know a lot of people do when they have debts, but really focus on it and work out what it is that you can do to make things better. I hope that's been helpful. If there's anything I can help you with, please do get in contact. I'm always here to help. There is a new course coming out very, very soon, a cash management, a fresh perspective, which is going to teach you all about Profit First. And you don't have to do it, you can do it all in your own time. It'll take you about 6 weeks, and you get question and answer sessions halfway through. You also get me at the end and a private one-to-one to go through your own business finances, to do your own Profit First assessment, so we can get your predetermined percentages set up, so that we can get Profit First set up for you and start you making you consistently profitable, which is what my passion is in life. So if anybody needs any help, please do come to me. Thank you. Bye.